One of my biggest frustrations is that we never learned how to buy a house in school, but they taught us everything else like y equals mx plus b. How is that really going to help me buy a house? That's neither here nor there. That's actually a conversation for a different day. But luckily for you, you follow me, the Go Realtor. So I'm going to walk you through some simple things that you should know if you ever plan to buy a house down the line. So keep your eyes on the prize. No, not me. That house. To make sure this video is not boring and shit, and y'all not just sitting here watching me talk, we're gonna walk through this beautiful house in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, while I give you guys some more info on what you can do to actually buy a house. Now, first things first, you're gonna want your credit score to be at least 620. That's gonna allow you to qualify for some of the more basic financing programs. Because let's be real, most people don't have $500,000 sitting around in cash just so they could go buy a house. Now, once you know that your credit score is at least a 620 and you've been making some money at work, this is the best time where you can speak with the lender, because a lender can give you an actual analysis on what you can possibly qualify for based on your income, how much debt you have, and your credit score. They usually look for at least 2 years of work history, and I mean taxable income. But in some cases, you can get away with 1 year, but you would probably have to put a higher down payment. All depends on your situation. Now, after speaking with the lender, they'll give you what's called the pre-approval. And this is just a document that states the amount that you can possibly qualify for based on the information you've given the lender about your debt, your income, your credit, all that fun stuff. Now, just because you get a $600,000 pre-approval, that doesn't mean go out and buy a $600,000 house. You should always work backwards. Know ahead of time what you want your monthly payment to be, and then speak with the lender and say, hey, if I want my monthly payment to be X amount, what's the most I can offer on a house? And that's the budget you should be shopping within. Now that you've spoken with the lender, things are getting a bit more clear. You know what your budget is now, so that's good. But one of the biggest questions that people have when it comes to buying a house is, what are my total costs out of pocket going to be? So let's get straight to it. Here's the rule of thumb that I use. And side note, damn, this walk-in closet. But anyway, here's the rule of thumb that I use. What you should know there are two different type of loans that are very common amongst first-time home buyers. An FHA loan, the minimum down payment for that is 3.5%. A conventional loan, the minimum down payment for that is 3%. And we're talking about single families here, right? I'm not going to go into the difference of the loans now. That's for another day. We'll say that for another day. But what you should know is FHA is 3.5% down. Conventional is 3% down. And your expected closing costs are going to be 2% of the purchase price. So a good rule of thumb is to just take the purchase price of a house, like 600,000, and multiply it by 5.5%. 3.5% for the down payment, 2% for the closing costs. So 600,000 times 5.5% would be $33,000. That means to purchase a $600,000 home, your total cost out of pocket